Hello everyone, magandang buhay sa lahat. Welcome na welcome po kayo dito sa aking Mathematics Tagalog tutorial. Sa video na ito ay pipresent ko po sa inyo the different methods of data collection. So these are the surveys and questionnaires, interviews, observations, experiments, and case studies. So I'm going to present the description of each method of data collection at ipapaliwanag ko din po sa inyo paano nga po ba ito ginagamit in data collection. And also, I'm going to present examples for each methods upang sa ganon ay mas lalo pa po ninyong maintindihan. Okay, so let's define first what is a data collection. So data collection is the process of gathering data. So pag sinabi po nating collection, that is in other word, gathering. So data collection is gathering data. So maraming way po yung pag-gather po ng data. Okay, yun nga po yung methods of data collection. Okay, so let's start. The first method of data collection is that the surveys in questionnaire. So paano nga po ba ginagamit at ano nga po ba itong surveys in questionnaire? So magpipresent po ako ng four ways: its description, application, advantages, and challenges. Okay, so ano nga po ba yung description ng method na ito? Surveys involve asking individuals a set of predetermined questions, often in written form, to gather information about their opinions, behaviors, or characteristics. So yung surveys in questionnaires po, ito po ay ready-made questionnaire or ready-made questions na karaniwan ito po ay written form. So nakatype po ito, nakalagay po sa isang papel yung different questions, and then ibibigay lang po natin ito dun sa mga tao na gusto nating makuhanan ng information. Okay? So, iiwan po natin yung questionnaire and then later pwede po nating balikan kapag nasagutan na po nila. Okay, so yun po yung surveys in questionnaires. From the word questionnaires, ito po ay ready-made questions. Okay po? So next, what is the application of these surveys and questionnaires? So ang application po niya ay used in social sciences, market research, and public opinion polls. Okay, so ito pong sinabi po dito na social sciences, actually pwede rin po yung ibang data collection or method of data collection maliban po sa surveys in questionnaire. Okay, so market research and public opinion polls. So pag sinabi po natin public opinion polls, halimbawa mayroon po tayong gustong makuha sa public na information, pwede po tayong gumawa ng questions at yun po yung gagamitin po natin para makuha natin yung information. And what is the advantages of this data collection? Cost-effective, can reach a large audience, and standardized format. So pag sinabi po natin cost-effective, ito po ay less po sa gastos kapag gumamit po tayo ng questionnaire. So bakit po? Kasi minsan lang po tayo pupunta, printed po yung ating questions, and then pwede po nating ipamudmod and babalikan po natin later on. Okay. So can reach a large audience. So kahit gaano pong karami po yung audience natin na gustong makuha ng information, ay madali lang pong gamitin yung questionnaire. So halimbawa, 100 na tao yung gusto nating makuhanan, adi 100 din po na questionnaire yung piprint natin. Okay. So yun po yung sabi niya kanina na cost effective. And of course, kahit gaano karami, ay marireach po natin yan. And standardized format. So bakit po standardized? So kung ano yung tanong po na sasagutan o sasagutin ng isang tao, ay gawin din po yung tanong, the same question, yung sasagutan po sa kabila. Hindi po magbabago. Okay? And what is the challenges in using this data collection? Response bias, limited depth of information. Bakit po kaya response bias? Okay, response bias kasi iba-iba po yung makakalap natin na information. Of course, may iba-iba po yung in data na makokollect natin. And limited depth of information, pag sinabi po nating limited, ay kung ano lang po yung question, yun lang po yung pwede nilang sagutin. Okay. So, wala na pong iba nilang sasagutan, kundi yung nilalaman lang po ng questionnaire. Okay, so these are some examples or some data collection or collecting data wherein surveys and questionnaire are appropriate to use. Okay, So first is that effects of modular distance learning and online learning. So, halimbawa, gusto mo pong makuha yung effects of modular distance learning or online learning. So, pwede pong gamitin yung surveys in questionnaires. Okay? So, kung gaano po ka-epekto yung modular distance learning. Another one is that causes of cigarette smoking at young age. So, ano po ba yung causes? Bakit po maraming mga bata ang natututong manigarilyo? Okay, so pwede pong gamitan yan para makuha po yung information or makuha po yung data ay gamit po tayo ng survey and questionnaire. Okay, so second method of data collection is the interviews. So paano nga po ba ginagamit ang interviews? So again, pipresent ko po its description, application, advantages, and challenges. So paano nga po ba itong interview na ito? So this is the description. Interviews involve direct interaction between a researcher and a participant where questions are asked and response are recorded. So yun po yung interview. So ito po ay direct interaction. Kung nasaan po yung tao na gusto mong makuhanan ng information, ay dapat puntahan po ninyo. Okay, punta ka sa kanya at magkaharap kayo, magbibigay ka ng tanong o ibibigay mo yung tanong at sasagutin niya yung tanong. Yun po yung way para makuha po yung data. Okay? So, syempre, yung mga tanong ay naka-ready na rin po ito. Okay? So, yung mga questions na gusto mong itanong sa audience mo o sa taong gusto mong makuha ng information ay naka-record na po yung mga questions. And then, isa-isahin mo lang pong itatanong and then yung sagot niya ay i-record mo. Yun po yung interview. So, what is its application? Common and qualitative research, case studies, and in-depth investigation. Okay, pag sinabi natin qualitative research, ito po yung mga characteristics o hindi po involve yung number pag sinabi po natin qualitative. So, yan po yung mga interview. So, ito po yung mga pwedeng tanungin mo, ano ba yung behavior, characteristics, yun po yung interview. Ano po? So, case studies and in-depth investigation. Pag sinabi po natin in-depth investigation, kung may malalim ka pong gustong malaman, okay, para makakolek po tayo ng information. So, pwede po yung interview. Kasi kanina po dun sa questionnaire, so kung ano lang po yung lalaman ng questionnaire, o kung ano lang po yung questions yun, dun po yung, yun lang po yung sasagutan nila. Pero yung interview, pwede pa po kayo magbigay ng follow-up questions mula po dun sa first question. Ano po? Kasi andun po kayo mismo sa harap ng tao na kinukuhan ng information. Okay, what is its advantages? Allows for in-depth exploration. Ito na nga po yung sabi ko kanina. Depth exploration, flexibility in questioning, and clarification of responses. So pag sinabi po natin flexibility in questioning, so pag halimbawa hindi po niya naintindihan yung tanong, pwede po ninyong i-revise yung tanong, yung question, para maintindihan at masagot po niya. And clarification of information. For example, so mayroon po siyang naisagot, hindi po niyo naintindihan, pwede po ninyong i-clarify kung ano po yung kanyang response. Ano po? Yun po yung advantages niya. And how about the challenges kapag gumamit po ng interviews? So time consuming. Of course, time consuming kasi hindi po pwedeng sabay-sabay na interviewin yung tao na gusto makuha ng information. So kung 100 na tao yung kukuha ng information, isa-isahin po ninyo na interviewin yon. Kaya po siya ay time consuming. Ano po? And potential for interviewer bias. Bakit po mayroong interviewer bias? So halimbawa ikaw, yung unang tao, iba yung way ng tanong mo, yung pangalawang tao, iba naman yung way ng pagtatanong mo. So meron na pong bias doon. Unlike po doon sa questionnaire na kung ano yung tanong, yun lang po yung sasagot nila. At the same po yung tanong na yun, saktong-sakto kasi isa po yung pagpiprint ninyo. Ano po? So yun po yung challenges nun. Okay, so here are some cases wherein interviews is applicable. Okay, first is that point of view of parents about cancellation of classes during typhoons. So, pag sinabi po nating point of view of parents, so ano po yung masasabi nila about cancellation of classes during typhoons? So, pwede po ninyong interviewin. Ano po? So, pwede po yun. Another one is that survey about the gate price of coconut product between buyers. So, pag sinabi po nating survey about the product or about the price of coconut, ay pwede po ninyong gamitin yung interview. Halimbawa, So yung mga mamimili, pwede po ninyong tanungin, okay, magkano po ba yung niyog? Ano po? Okay. Okay, so third way or third method of data collection is observation. So, paano naman po itong observation? So, its description is researchers directly observe and record behavior, events, or phenomena without direct interaction with the participants. So, yun po yung observations. Ibig sabihin, ang gagawin lang po ng researcher po ang tawag doon sa nagko-collect ng data. Ano po? So, ang tawag po doon ay researcher. So, ang gagawin lang po nung nag-research o magko-collect ng data ay i-observe lang po niya yung mga gusto po niyang makuhanan ng information. Okay? For example, events, okay, phenomena, or yung mga cases na hindi na kailangan interviewin. Ano po? Kailangan lang, kung titignan mo lang, makukuha mo na yung information. Okay, so of course, i-observe mo at i-record mo para hindi makalimutan. Ano po? So yan po yung observations. And sa applications po ay used in naturalistic studies, ethnography, and behavioral research. Ito po yung mga cases wherein pwede lang pong gamitin yung observation. So, titignan mo lang, okay, pagmamasdan mo sila, and then i-record mo lang yung mapapansin mo. Okay? What is its advantages? Provides first-hand information and minimizes response bias. So, bakit po minimizes response bias? So, kung ano yung nakita mo, yun ang record mo. Ano po? So, hindi na kasi kailangan na isa-isahin para makuha ng information. So, as a whole na po siya. And then challenges, observer bias, limited insight into underlying motivation. So pag sabi natin observer bias, so minsan po kasi hindi naman po minsanan na mag-observe tayo. So halimbawa, yung isang case ay mag-observe ka dito, then lilipat ka sa kabila. So pag sinabi natin observe bias, ay may pagkakaiba na po yung way ng pag-observe mo. Okay? So may iba na po yung may record mo pag nag-iba yung motibo mo or yung mood mo sa pag-observe. Okay, so these are some of the cases wherein observations may be applicable. First, the increasing numbers of customers entering coffee shop. Okay, so kung gusto mong malaman kung dumadami ba o kumukonti yung mga tao na pumapasok sa coffee shop, pwede po ninyong gamitan ng observations. Okay? So, observe po ninyo, ngayong araw, 2 table ang na-occupy, bukas 3 table ang na-occupy, sa susunod na araw 3 table ang na-occupy. So, nakita mo yung kung ito po ay dumadami o kumukonti yung pumupunta sa coffee shop. So, that means pwede pong yan gamitan ng observations. Okay? Next one is that can be attitude of grade 7 students inside the classroom. So, pag sinabi po nating attitude, medyo broad, malawak po yung attitude pag pinag-usapan po yung attitude. Okay? So, pwede po nating gamitan ng observation para ma-observe po natin kung sino po ba yung mga grade 7 students. Ano po ba yung mga kanilang attitude. Okay, so how about this fourth data collection or method of data collection? This is experiments. Okay, the description is, researchers manipulate variables to observe the effect on the outcome. Controlled conditions help establish cause and effect relationships. Application, common in natural sciences, psychology, and medicine. Advantages, allows for causal inference, high internal validity. And the challenges, artificial settings may limit generalizability, ethical concern. So ano nga po ba yung experiment? So ang experiment po, ito yung ginagawa o gagawin natin yung isang bagay para makakuha po tayo ng experiment. So mayroon po tayong control. Ano po? Para magkaroon po ng output. Okay, so yun po yung experiment. So gagawin mo muna para mapatunayan mo gaano ko po ba ito ka-epekto. Okay. Okay, so ito po yung pwedeng gamitan ng experiment. Example po ay reaction level of herbicide to the grass. So pag sinabi po natin reaction level of herbicide, ito po yung mga pamatay damo kung saan ini-spray po natin sa damo. So bago po ibenta sa merkado itong herbicide, kasi commercial po ito, ay tinetest muna nila kung gaano po ba kabilis makapatay ng damo. Ano po? Para masabi po sa tao na gano'n siya kabilis makapatay ng damo. So napapatunayan na po kasi na meron ng experiment. Okay, so how about this number 5, method of data collection, case studies. So ito po yung kanyang description. In-depth examination of a single case or a small number of cases to gain insights into complex phenomena. Application, common in psychology, medicine, and social sciences. Advantages, rich, detailed information suitable for complex or unique cases. And challenges, limited generalizability, potential for researcher bias. So, yun po yung case studies. Okay, so let's have an activity to master the lesson about the methods of data collection. Okay, so direction, identify the appropriate method of collecting data for each statement. Okay, let's have number 1. It involves gathering detailed information about a particular individual, group, or phenomenon through a comprehensive and in-depth examination. So ano po yung method to collect data about this one? Okay? So, ang pwede po dyan ay case study. So, bakit po kaya case study? So, nakalagay po dito. So, gathering detailed information about particular individual, group, or phenomenon. Okay, so, pwede po dyan ay case study. Okay, so how about this number 2? It is employed when researchers systematically manipulate one or more variables to observe the effect on another variable. Okay, so ano po yung method na pwede natin gamitin to collect information about this one? So, ang keyword po natin dito ay manipulate one or more variables. So, pag nag-manipulate po tayo o yung researcher nag-manipulate ng variable, ang tawag po dyan ay experiment. Okay, for number 3, a method that involves the systematic gathering of information through direct interaction with participants, allowing for a personalized and in-depth exploration of their experiences and perspectives. So ano po yung pwedeng gamitin to collect data? So ang keyword po natin dito ay direct interaction with participants. So kapag meron po kayong direct interaction with participants, one-on-one po yan, that is interview. Okay? Okay, for number 4, it is a structured set of questions designed to gather information from a large number of respondents, often used for statistical analysis. Okay, so ano po kaya ang method of data collection na pwede po nating gawin o dinidescribe po ng statement na ito? Okay, so meron pong keyword natin dito, set of questions. Okay, so pag sinabi po nating set of questions, ang pwede pong gamitin dyan ay questionnaire. Okay, for number 5, the most appropriate method if researchers want to collect data by watching and recording behaviors or events as they naturally occur without interference. Okay, so ito po ang keyword po natin ay watching and recording behavior. So watching and recording, yan po ay observation. Okay, so how about this one? So this is your activity. So try to post this video and sagutan po ninyo. Identify po ninyo or give the method of data collection that is suitable for this statement or cases. Okay, so let's start for number 1. So check po ninyo yung sagot nyo kung tama. Point of view of parents about the matatag curriculum. So ano po yung method of data collection that can be used here? So pwede po dyan ang interview. Okay? How about number 2? Effects of modular distance learning and online learning. Yan po kanina. Yan po ay questionnaire. For number 3, germination rates of mango seeds. Okay? So, yan po ay hindi po pwedeng iba. Ito lang po ang pwede, experiment. Okay? Number 4, the impact of playing online games to the grade 7 students. So, pag sinabi po nating impact of playing online games, ano pong pwede? Interview. So, pwede po ninyong isa-isahin yung mga grade 7 para malaman po ninyo yung impact of playing online games. How about this number 5? The increasing numbers of students with no GMRC. Okay. So, nakalagay po dito, increasing numbers of students with no GMRC. So, ang pwede po dyan ay observation. Maraming salamat sa mga kaibigan. Kung nagustuhan mo yung video na ito at natuto ka, please click like and then subscribe kung bago ka pa lang po dito sa aking channel.